a very interesting story, okay? With a nice happy ending. Boyfriend called her a fat piece of garbage, but she drastically changes and she actually ended up getting revenge on him. Alright? Check it. Alright. Alvina Rayne wasn't always overweight. It wasn't until she got involved in an abusive relationship that she began eating junk food and feeling depressed. The mother from Philadelphia turned to fatty and sugary foods to cope with the verbal abuse she faced on a regular basis. Like many people in these type of relationships, Alvina wasn't strong enough to leave him, not yet. At her heaviest, she weighed 274 pounds. Alvina's boyfriend called her a fat piece of garbage who would never be able to lose weight or meet another man. With high blood pressure, prediabetes, and anxiety attacks, her health was in a downward spiral. But in 2009, Alvina had enough. She knew something had to change and fast, especially since she had children who depended on her. Alvina Rayne, 32, is a mother from Philadelphia. She was involved in an abusive relationship, and as a result, she developed dual diagnosis of depression and food addiction. Because of her terrible eating habits, Alvina became so overweight that she had to buy clothing in men's sizes. Even walking up and down the stairs became exhausting. When she reached her heaviest weight at 274 pounds, her cruel boyfriend called her a fat piece of garbage and ugly. To cope with this verbal and emotional abuse, Alvina only ate more. Sugary cereals and fast foods became her salvation. The young mother suffered from high blood pressure, prediabetes, polycystic ovary syndrome, left ventricular hypertrophy, I can't pronounce it, hypertrophy, and severe anxiety. Her boyfriend continued to manipulate her, but Alvina was so depressed that she couldn't leave him. Whenever she hinted at leaving, he would tell her that no one would want her and that she was worthless and would never lose weight even if she tried. But after years of abuse and emotional turmoil, something inside Alvina finally clicked. Gathering all the strength she possibly could, Alvina dumped her boyfriend once and for all. Not only did she get rid of her abusive boyfriend, but in 2009 she made a complete diet and lifestyle overhaul. She switched to a low-carb keto diet. Whenever she struggled or hit a plateau, she would remind herself of all the things her ex told her. No one will ever want you, became the driving force behind her stunning transformation. Alvina set to prove him wrong, and she lost 130 pounds, and now she looks like this. Went from that to this. Now, this is a very, very cool topic because it gives me an opportunity to try to give you guys some advice. Now, one of the hardest things in life is to be comfortable in your own skin and to be comfortable with who you are as a person. Um, you have some people out there who are okay with being independent. Some people are okay being introverted and not being on the bandwagon, not fitting in. Then you have other people who just can't stand standing out. They have to fit in. And the idea that they're different from everybody else really bothers them because I think that they're insecure. And I think it's because they're just not comfortable in their own skin. Now, for me personally, what motivates me is at 32 years old, I've seen so much out of life. I've seen so many. I've seen the underbelly of humankind. I've seen successful people who you would have never expected to be bad people, and they ended up being bad people. So after experiencing that, I really don't have any shame. I don't care what people think about me. I don't care if people judge me. I don't care about any of that because I understand that if we're dealing with a human being, we're dealing with imperfection. Nobody in this world is perfect. And another thing that always kind of gets me going is it's a blessing to simply be alive, to actually take part in existence. At a certain point, the entire universe will die. Photons, protons, neutrons, all that stuff is going to eventually die out. And once protons die, existence isn't even going to be able to exist. This cup wouldn't be able to have a physical structure. And then basically the universe is going to die out. So basically, for us to actually be able to participate in reality, to participate in existence is a blessing because in a few billion years, there's not going to be existence, so there are only going to be a handful of, on a universal scale, there's only going to be a handful of life forms that are actually going to be able to say we existed when existence was around. So the fact that you are conscious and listening to me right now is a very, very precious thing because at a certain point, nothing will exist. The sun will die, the earth will die, the universe will die. The universe is constantly expanding. And eventually it's all going to die. And that kind of keeps me going because I know that everything is limited. There's, all of this conscious experience, life, whatever you want to call it, is a temporary thing. So that's what motivates me to not give a shit about what anybody thinks about me. And if you're fat and you want to be skinny, you need to understand that just because you're big doesn't make you less than. Yeah, that person might be attractive, they might be skinny, but at the end of the day, they've probably got some skeletons in their closet. There are a lot of people out there who have skeletons in their closet, you know? So don't ever look at the next person and say, "Well, I wish I was like them. I wish I was more like them and less like me." No, don't feel like that, because I'm telling you, I've had a lot of human experience, a lot of life experience, and I'm telling you that everybody has their issues. Everybody has their insecurities. So don't ever let yourself get down because you think that person is living better than you. Love yourself, accomplish your goals, and learn to love accomplishing your goals. Love the process, because it's not going to be an overnight thing to lose weight or to accomplish whatever goal you have. But if you fall in love with the process, I think you'll be okay. You have to fall in love with falling in love. Peace. And I hope that you get everything that you want out of life. And remember, don't worry about what other people think. Okay? Just be yourself. Peace.